Hi guys, and welcome back to DIY Ideas. Today we will make pom-poms, and we will not do this with the great but also kind of difficult version where we kind of have like this mold and we have to use this cardboard to make this pom-pom. But we actually are going to use these tools that have existed for hundreds of years. We will have a fork for the small pom-poms and our hand for the bigger ones. You don't need really anything else except for a nice thread and a good scissor. Pom-poms you can use in very many different places. You can make earrings out of it. You can make it to be a part of your gift wrapping. You can have it on top of your hats. This one here, for example, is definitely going to go on a hat. And you can also make nice garlands or other decor items, like a mobile for a child maybe. And if you look at this, it kind of looks like a jellyfish. So if you add a few more threads here, you have a great, jellyfish mobile or something like that. That'd be super cool. You can add a few eyes and feet, then you have a nice little Easter chick. But yeah, have fun. For our mini pom-poms, we don't really need a lot at all. We need either a unicolor thread or even maybe two different ones. Or we could also obviously take one that already has a color fade. But I'm going to show you here now how to use two different colors. We need a good scissor, and I would actually really recommend a small scissor like this one. Okay, we need some thread. And we have a fork. I'm going to take the yarn here. I like to take it onto my lap because I think it's easier to work with. And then I'm going to take from both of them the threads here into my hand. So they're ready to use. And then here for the first step, this is quite important, and so it's easier later on. I'm going to take the thread here that I will use to tie it off. I'm just going to put this here into the middle, and then we will start wrapping it around from the first color. Okay, I put it around the fork here, and I'm just going to start wrapping it around. And yeah, with that, the end piece is going to get fixed or like secured. And if this kind of, gets wrapped up, that's fine. And that's not a big deal at all, because later on we're going to use the scissor to, make it look nice and presentable. And all of that will kind of, go away when it all actually pops open and we have all the fluff poking out. Okay, so I would like to add my second color now, so I'm just going to add the pink here, the pastel pink, and then continue wrapping it around here as well. And I think for me this is enough. This is a nice thickness, nice to work with, I think. And later on you obviously still have to be able to cut it with your scissors, so make sure you don't make it too thick. So I'm going to cut off these threads here, and yeah, now I have these loose threads here. That's not a big deal at all. We will be able to cut that off later. Now here we have the knotting thread already here, ready to go. And we can just take the loop here and pull it through the middle of the fork, and then take the other side of the threads and pull it through. And this is super practical and super useful, just because like this we can kind of like fixate it, already secure it before we take it off of the fork. So I'm just making it a little tighter here, and then I'm scooching it off of the fork. I'm just pulling decently hard here on the thread, and then I take it off of the fork. And now we have kind of like a little bow. Now I'm going to take apart the thread here, and I'm keeping it really nice and steady with my fingers so that it doesn't come apart. It's never actually happened to me that it all came loose after, but you know, you can never be too careful. And so here on the other side, I'm just having them basically meet. And I will make a really nice and tight knot. Okay, so the tighter you can make this without the thread actually ripping, the safer is it later. And here, quick info, I used the same thread that I started with for the pom-pom. Sometimes you might have a little bit of a, yeah, of like a little hole in there, but I think this is easy and not a big deal. You can also add a third knot here, just to be sure. Better be safe than sorry, as they say. And then here, this is actually the nicest part. We will go through these loops here with our scissor. So we will start at one side here. Okay, and then, yeah, the scissor actually the wrong side. Okay, so here we go through with our scissor and we just cut through all the little loops, and then we see how it all kind of pops open. And here I'm working without any sort of helper, but this is, yeah, like a nice little explosion. And I'm gonna take my scissor here and just will kind of, you know, make sure it's more even than it is looking right now. So I'm just making sure that I have these threads that we used to tie it off with nice and to the side, so that I can't cut them by accident. And then here we're done with our little pom-pom. This is super nice for spring. I think it looks so cute. These colors are lovely. I can even imagine making like a little earring out of it or a nice little garland. And I really hope that you guys also thought this method was really cool. For our really easy hand pom-pom method, we don't really need much. We need a scissor and we need yarn. I have about 100 centimeters maybe, so that I have enough later on to tie it all off, and then maybe even to, you know, put it on top of my non-existent hat. This is a great wool here called Super Chunky in a nice like light lavender, great for spring, that I want to use to make a hat. I'll maybe make a video of this too, and I'll actually link the wool in the description. To make a pom-pom, I think this is really the easiest method, and I think it makes a great pom-pom. We will take the beginning of our wool here, and then we will just wrap it around our fingers. I like using the wool on my lap, so I put it there. And then, just in case, I'm going to put the double thread here already through my fingers. I'm just going to pay attention that it's not, you know, gonna get all wrapped up. But with this, I'm going to have it a little easier later on. Okay, so next I'm going to take the beginning of my thread, and then I'll just put it over my fingers here, like so. And then next up, I will start wrapping it around my fingers. This is already 4 times. 60 times is great, depends a little bit on how thick the wool is, maybe 75, maybe only 55, you know. The more you you know, wrap the wool around this, the fluffier our pom-pom will get. But yeah, it's also going to get a little harder, like a little firmer. So yeah, I always make sure that my fingers don't like get too close together, so you want to have a little space here. And I can kind of fixate here the beginning thread, but I will always like cut it off later on. And so here everything, you know, doesn't have to be super accurate. I kind of wrap the thread around here 60 times. I think that should be enough. It's nice and firm, it's nice and voluminous. And here we have our thread through already once. I thought this would be the most practical way, the easiest way, so that you're not struggling here at this phase now. So we have great preparation, and we can take our loop here, go in between the ring finger and the middle finger. I'm trying to see, yeah, okay. We're going between the ring and the middle finger, yes. And here we have our middle already. Now we can go here through the loop, and now we already have it all secured, like pretty well already. So this is, for me, much better than putting the thread around here afterwards, just because it can get a little messy. We can kind of slowly take it off of the fingers and then pull the thread here really nice and tight. For this is also great if you take a double thread here, just because sometimes the wool likes to rip. And if you have it double here, it'll just be a little stronger. So I'm going to take the threads here, and I will make them meet on the other side, just like this. And then here, I will tie them. If you know one or so is moving over, it doesn't matter at all. We will later on with the scissor anyway, like make sure it's all nice and round, so it doesn't matter as much. It's really important here to make a good knot. If you wanted to, you can also do another knot on the other end, on the other side again, so a third one. But I think this is going to be fine for this wool. So here where we pulled the thread through, we can kind of have like a U. And this is exactly where we're going to go through all these loops. This is my favorite part of the pom-pom making process. I'm just going to cut this through with my scissor. And it's very normal that it's, you know, a little uncoordinated in the beginning. So we have, when you start to wrap it around your fingers, obviously it's a shorter distance than when you wrap it around later on when there's already some wool. So that's why it's kind of like a little bit like egg-shaped at the beginning. So you always have to like cut the edges here. And I'm just going to do it here, kind of just looking and seeing which need to be cut. I just make sure that I have these threads in hand here so that I don't cut them by accident. All right, and here my pom-pom is ready. I think this looks great actually. And I actually like it when there is a little bit of, you know, fluff kind of coming out. So the shorter you make it, the more even it'll be and the less fluffy it'll look. Because obviously on the inside it's just, you know, everything's tighter together. And so here's my nice little tip. So let's say you put this onto a hat, right? And then it's, you know, not as nice anymore after a while maybe. Just, you know, give it a little haircut, make sure you cut it all even, and then you have a fresh look again on your pom-pom. Because there's obviously, you're cutting off the fringe, basically the frizz, and then underneath it's still looking good underneath. And so yeah, if you ever have a pom-pom that's looking a little old, looking a little used, then you just give it a little haircut and it should look as good as new. This is about as big as the palm of my hand. I can obviously make this smaller if I wanted to, but I think this is actually a great size. Do I like this pom-pom? Yes, then I think this worked really well. I wish you guys a lot of fun with this technique and that you make a lot of cool pom-poms. These are our pom-poms. They're all done now, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please go ahead and like my video and maybe subscribe to my channel. And then in the comments, please go ahead and tell me what you made with your pom-poms. Did you make a garland? Did you make earrings? Did you make a mobile for a child? I'd be really interested to know, and I'd be really happy to hear from you guys. And if you have any other comments or any ideas what I should do with these pom-poms, then please go ahead and let me know. Alright guys, hope to see you next time back here at DIY Ideas. Bye!